Hello and welcome to Omn Level 2, You, Space-Time and the Quantum Field. So to get the most from this series of videos, we invite you to take them in the order that they are presented and to play them as many times as you want, and to remember that there is also an ebook that comes with this series and invites you to explore, to go within, and to look at these areas or these topics as they pertain to areas of your life. So the first video that comes up is a personal message from me. Just wanted to give this a really, one-on-one touch and just share with you how passionate and how dedicated I am to Omnism and Om, and to everybody that comes into this space and joins me in growing essentially a movement. So the video, The Monkey Mind, Notice What You Notice, as it suggests, it's tackling the part of your body, your egoic, your mammalian, your reptilian brain. I call it the monkey mind because of the way that it tends to jump around and pulls you quite often out of yourself, out of deep connection to self and groundedness. And there's obviously evolutionary advantages to the monkey mind. It's kept us alive for thousands of years, but it also needs to understand its proper place and role within the body total. So there's some techniques. The most powerful one is notice what you notice, and we practice that in deep coherence technique. The next video, Space and Time, is just this slide shows a blank picture of the cosmos, the Milky Way. It really is from the perspective of the nine and the transmissions that I've received, quite an unusual, unique way of looking at the role that space and time play in the unfoldment of our own personal consciousness, and how we can better use space and time and appreciate that they're both tools for us, and that we're not subject to them in a way that is oppressive. A/B test the quantum field, as it suggests. It is the concept, the truth, the topic, the subject, that we are in a two-way conversation at all times with the quantum field, with everybody around us, all of the other nodes, the humans, the other beings in the cosmos, and Source Creator God, higher power, whatever you want to call it. We're in a two-way conversation. So there's a way of, like muscle testing, kinetic testing, there's a way to test how the quantum field, how you have inadvertently, all of us have inadvertently primed the quantum field to respond to us in different ways, and mostly consciously. So A/B testing in this video is really sharing the idea that it's experimental, it's evolutionary, it's there to be played with. It's not a fixed thing. So have fun with this video and let us know how you get on with some of that testing. Lucid living, as it suggests, you've heard of lucid dreaming. Lucid living is the idea that actually, it's not the idea, it's a reality that 95% of our time, according to scientists, we are actually unconscious and running programs. And that's because there's an evolutionary advantage to running on autopilot for most of our day, especially if we kind of have to do the same things different day, if we have the same kind of responsibilities, and there's advantages to just switching off. But what we want to try and do is just, as much as we can, step into the now moment, and to bring that I am consciousness to it. And the more that we do that, the more that we find, the more that we practice, the more that we find we just are naturally more lucid. So we're not just running autopilot, but we're actually going deeper, even into those mundane things that we think, oh, I should just run on autopilot. When you choose consciousness, when you choose lucidity, you really begin to experience the deliciousness of every single moment. So the next video is a very important subject, and I think it's one that's going to become more important as time goes on, and that is, how do we work through trauma? How do we integrate it? How do we work through it? How do we release it so that it does not fractalize unconsciously and becomes just simply a rinse and repeat of more oppression and trauma? This is my personal favorite in the series, The Law of Pendulum. It makes sense of a lot of the craziness that we experience when we try to do something really positive. We push ourselves forward, and we take positive action. Sometimes we can find, well, quite often we can find that there is a force that pushes us back in the opposite direction. And the expression "two steps forward, one step back" springs to mind. And there's a lot of wisdom in that. Our ancestors understood some of these laws better than we do. So for me, this is a really good one because it kind of helps you to calibrate these forces, these laws, and to kind of run them in your favor. The net is not the ocean. This is a deep one. This is one that I think warrants contemplation, rumination, resonating on this subject, and just going to the truth that makes sense to you. So everything that we share within the Omnism modality is there for you to resonance test, to lean in, to question, to think about, and then to either use and take advantage of, or to put aside. But yeah, this is a deep one. Is there a power behind the quantum field? Yeah, often I get asked about, particularly during a lot of stress, and we all have pockets of extreme stress in our lives for whatever reasons, and often it isn't our fault. It isn't something that we've engineered. It just comes looking for us, and we can find ourselves in the middle of a temporary storm. And this is a really useful. It's a little bit longer than DCT, but it's a really beautiful way. And you can play this over and over again and listen to the little talk. It's very calming and very grounding, and it definitely has a purpose. So yeah, we've put together 2 recorded transmissions from the 9 that Jacqueline myself received, talking about myself in the third person that I received. And this is another one of those really powerful, easy to understand concepts that were given through a transmission that I can just grab hold of and say, right, okay, so it is reciprocal. My life is speaking to me all the time. So this is one of my personal favorites. Has the Kali Yuga ended? Well, according to some, no, it's got another 400 years to run. But there's more to that than meets the eye. And last but not least, there's a bonus here about the topic of ascension, ascended masters, the saints, etc., Bodhisattva's and all those folks, and the descended, the ones that descend, i.e. all of us. And there's I think just a different way perhaps of looking at the value of expansion, and that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to kind of give it away. Ultimately, for me, this is a really beautiful truth, because it offers value for every single experience that we have, and that it's part of a bigger plan. So enjoy the series. It's level 2. Circle back, do level 1 again. We've got materials that go with this course. These levels 1 and 2 will set you up for the life course that I teach, which is level 3, and that is from Kali Yuga to Cosmic Age, and the information to join that class, those classes, will be given in this series throughout, so you can't miss it. Okay, enjoy and have a beautiful day.